Always fun, crazy. It's painful, but it's wonderful. What is the name?
It's Royce Unchained.
Patrick, speaking of painful but wonderful, the Vikings start next Monday.
Yes, I don't like this delay. Do you? I don't like this 2 week. So you played on a Thursday, right? You played on a Thursday, so now you got like a 17 days between
Yeah.
games or something. I don't, why start why start the season that early in August? I know they don't want to play Labor Day, but
Right.
we can have an exhibition game on Labor Day. Let's go here. Come on. I don't agree with this long delay, but, because I don't buy the idea that it just gives you longer to hype it up. Obviously, people are going to be hyped, but they don't think of the last week has not been, oh, what's happening with the Vikings. I think you take some momentum away. I don't like it, but maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
Don't forget, we've got the Eagles and Cowboys on Thursday.
Yes,
Then we got the game from Brazil on YouTube on Friday.
and who's playing in Brazil? The Cowboys, right?
No, it's the Eagles and Cowboys on Thursday. The Friday game is the Chargers are hosting a game in Brazil, and they
And
are playing. I'll find it right here. I didn't look at that. They are playing the Chiefs.
okay. So you have to start your season in Brazil on a Friday and then come back and play here. That's not an that's a long flight there to Rio, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Is the Rio market, is the Brazil market that really important to the Brazil TV market, that important to the NFL? I don't quite get that. We're
So
not
they're in Sao Paulo
Sao Paulo. Okay,
for this game. But anyway, yeah, the Packers and Eagles started there last year. Now that was a Peacock game at the time. This is the thing. They just moved this thing around to the highest bidder each year, I think now.
yeah, well, yeah. Now it's I've been saying that us old folks trying to find out where games are now is not easy. It's not, and it's going to get worse with the new baseball contract. The new NBA contract is going to be. We're not gonna turn on Bally Sports North and see Jim Pete for 82 games anymore. We don't know where the hell the NFL games and NBA games are going to be. So it's very confusing. But that said,
Hmm?
what? So are we done now? We have our roster, right? We don't have any more waiver guys coming in or stuff for the Vikings. We got our roster.
It looks, yeah, for week one, it looks that way.
Okay, and they kept all those young guys,
Yep.
five or six, and then did those guys all make the? We didn't do any shuffling, right? To
No.
bring in Wiley. Adam Thielen is really the only Wiley vet they brought in there, and when they had cut down time, then.
Well, Carson Wentz too.
Oh yeah, that's right.
When
Well,
when they traded Sam Howell, but no, they have 7 guys who were undrafted who made the roster just from this class.
really, wow. That just shows you, really, my theory all the time with Spielman with those late round draft choices. These undrafted free agents are the same guys.
Yeah.
They're the same guys. They just cost you a little more money to sign and get in here. So,
Mm-hmm.
but that's certainly. It's also them kind of telling you, don't get all worked up if we don't have a sixth rounder, right? There's other players out there that are just as good, but I don't know. The national predictions on this team aren't really that high, are they? They what, 8 and a half or 9? I don't get it. I don't get what people aren't optimistic about with the offensive line that they put together, and the I guess it's the quarterback, huh? They're
Mm-hmm.
uncertain about the quarterback. Is that the reason?
I think that's the
I don't
sole
get it.
the sole reason why I think is because of McCarthy. That
Yeah,
they don't trust him.
and there's really there's I guess it's up in the air, but there's no reason not to trust him. He's if you watch him as an athlete, he's gonna be he's going to be okay. But I guess it's rookie quarterbacks, and but if you protect him, he'll be fine, and they should be. It looks like they're going to be able to protect him. So
And a year ago, the national perception was Sam Darnold's your quarterback.
yes,
You're
yes.
screwed.
And the
So,
other thing was, what was the over and under last year was 6.5 on them, and they won
yeah.
14. What? They're not getting much respect for a 14 win team, are they? That's
Nope.
gotten a little better. I don't quite I don't quite get it, but I'm sure Viking fans are very optimistic when they see that Micah Parsons might not play in the opener because he's got a bad back or something. That was kind of a late revelation, right?
Well, he was using that in Dallas, and I thought he was just coming up with a reason not to practice for
Yes,
Dallas, but it turns out it's real.
I think if you're trading for him and giving him 180 million, do you get to look at his back pretty
Well,
extensively, or do you have to take the Cowboys' word for it?
no, you can give him a physical. This is what I don't get. Is if this
Mhm.
is a problem, this is a massive blunder by the Packers not to have because
Yeah,
you get to give if you give the guy a physical and he fails, you can just send him back.
yeah.
You certainly don't
And
give him the money.
I would say Goody Junior's out there on the ledge on this one right now. He better play, but we haven't decided whether this is the Herschel Walker trade or the Reggie White trade. If that's what's that going to become? What they give up two number ones?
Yes, the Packers gave up 2 1s. Now was Reggie was a Plan B free agent, right?
Yeah,
Didn't he
yeah,
pick the
wasn't it?
Packers? And they
Yes,
just started that weird Plan B thing. It
yes.
was a odd
Yeah, yeah,
situation.
they got him, and God told him to go to the Packers,
That's
which
what it
is
was. Yep.
really interesting thing that God would say that this is the place for you, Reggie. But Reggie, though, uh, some of my one of my favorite moments in a locker room ever was Reggie rooming next to the crazy guy from Miami that died in the car crash, Jerome Brown.
Oh yeah.
Jerome
Yeah.
Brown, one of the great characters of all time. But Reggie is, we're in there with Reggie after, I think it might have been a Viking game. I'm not sure. No, it was my playoff game, I think.
Yep.
And Reggie, and there's 12 people around Reggie's locker room, and Jerome is trying to get to his locker without a towel around him, and he's just kind of walking through there, and he makes reference to his anatomy and says, get out of the way here, swinging,
Yeah.
coming
Yep.
through." Yeah, it
Yeah.
was.
Yeah. That was the '90s, baby.
What a character! What a character! I mean, and apparently they were great buddies, even though Reggie spent a lot of time trying to convert him. And a lot of
Sure.
time, but they were great buddies. But so how much of the you got the Packer contacts? How much they going to miss Kenny Clark? Do they got anybody in the middle anymore?
He dropped off pretty significantly
Yeah, last year.
last year, and I think that's part of the reason why they threw him in there. It sounds like
Hmm.
because it sounds like Jerry Jones was trying to convince folks, "Hey, we got to stop the run. We got the
Yeah,
pass
yeah,
rush. We got to stop the run." The old Kenny Clark, who used to give the
yeah,
Vikings fits, I
yeah.
don't know that they include him in that trade, but he dropped. He's around 30 now and started to drop off.
Yeah, with that position too, especially when you're playing it, they didn't let him leave the field too often either. He was like on the field all the
Yep.
time. So you get yourself beat up. But it is funny. So Jerry is, as part of the collusion case that they have here, that they ended up proving collusion, but they didn't get any money for it. The players, it was the
Mm-hmm.
goofiest deal ever. Uh, Jerry's just old time, man. We just can't. We don't want to pay these guys more than guarantee these guys more than we think they're worth, and it's amazing how he took it so personally. You think so far getting burned on the Dak
Yeah.
contract and that whole thing has got Jerry in a bad mood?
Yeah. I think
'Cause
yes. I think
he
that's a
ended up
huge part of
giving
this.
Dak what 61 or something like that, some ungodly number, and
Yep.
then didn't get much quarterback out of it. So You know, he's 84 now, 84, 85, and
Hmm.
he is even though the kid supposedly is running it, when push comes to shove, I guess on this deal we proved that Jerry's still running it down there. So
I thought Jerry had backed off a lot a couple years ago, 3 years ago. He still did his press conference stuff, but there was the year they passed on Manziel, at which I thought, because I think Jerry liked him because he was a circus show, and they passed on him, and I thought, okay, you know what, Stephen Jones, Jerry's kid, definitely made that call. I think they drafted an O lineman, but the last couple of years, Jerry's been front and center again. So
yeah, yeah,
I don't
it's
know.
it is. I saw on one of the shows. They're the longest. They're the longest of any team not to be in a conference championship game or something like
96.
that. Yeah, and against us, right? They beat us to get there, right? Denny did
Oh,
Denny to get there that year.
yeah, yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah, they beat Denny to get there because I that was an embarrassing Viking performance right then, which that was Denny's fourth year, I think, and we thought that, oh man, he's because then the next year he went to New York and he was going to get fired if they lost, and that's when he came out with the conspiracy against him and the accusing Barrero and Powers and Sid of coming up with a conspiracy against them, the Denny thing. So that was a
Hmm.
bad Viking performance that day, though, down in Dallas. Ooh, they got killed.
Yeah, I'm looking at this, and they beat the. It looks like they beat the Packers eventually. So, but anyway, yeah, it was. If Jerry Jones did back off, he's back in charge now, and I think you're right on the Dak contract.
That's right. But the Vikings and the Bears on Monday night opening the season, that'll only get about a 65 share in Minnesota, I would think. So, do we still do shares, by the way? Do we even
Yeah,
know what a share is? This
yeah, I think
is a Monday night. Who has Monday night? ESPN still have Monday night? Who has Monday
ESPN,
night?
ESPN, and I think it's an ESPN ABC game, so I believe it's on
Okay.
Channel 5, Hubbard
Oh,
Broadcasting.
oh, good for that. So are we gonna? Is the Purple Daily making the trip or not? We gonna be
No, we
there?
stay home because our post game
On your
show
post
is
game, they said too big.
it's solely based on
And
fans
now on Purple
largely.
Daily,
Yeah.
Purple Daily in a situation like that for numbers and callers and everything. Do we want wins or losses?
Well, I
You
think you.
want it if you want to win.
Yeah.
But if it's a loss, make it an embarrassing loss, right?
Yeah.
Then
You
everybody
know
will be
what you don't
mad,
want?
right?
You don't want to turn out to be mediocre. That's what you
Yes,
don't want.
one way or the other.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nice.
Do
Yeah.
something really good, or if you're really bad, which I don't think that they'll be. But yeah, what kills you is the Sunday, the gorgeous Sunday in October, and they're
Yes.
just 2-2, and people are like, "Let's go outside."
Speaking of gorgeous, has the Minnesota, you guys being out there dang near every day, had to be the greatest weather in the history of the Minnesota State Fair. It's unbelievable. No humidity, nice and sunny, no threat of rain. It was fantastic. And then Justin Jefferson made the bad decision to walk out or walk around the fair. Somebody tell him, don't go to the fair. You know, go to the gentleman's club. Do whatever you want to do. Don't go to the fair. Everybody, the fans all wanted his autograph, and they're mad at him for not
I
stopping
saw
this
that.
time.
I'm shocked he went. I'm amazed that he went just because you would have thought somebody would have told him what a zoo that place is.
Yes, yes. I would think that sometime in the past they'd had him out there as part of a Viking group or something that he could have seen that, but I don't know. It's not a place for polite behavior, Justin. It's not.
No,
It's
no, yeah, and I mean, if he wants to go out there and not sign or not take pictures, I personally don't give a damn. But yeah, you're gonna get. And the problem now is, of course, everybody takes out their phone, and if
yes,
you don't give them what they want, they
yeah,
put it on social media.
yes. He's healthy, right? He's ready to roll.
As far as we know, he's ready to roll. He's ready to go. He, Thielen,
And Thielen has been practicing. When did they start practicing again? Last Thursday?
Um, I don't think they've really ramped up practice till tomorrow.
Wow.
So they've been at the facility a lot, but I don't know how much they've actually gotten on the field. So they start in earnest tomorrow for the Monday night game.
Boy, it's quite the secret location compared to old Winter Park, though, right? When you just go out there and peek, and you knew what was going on, right? And now it's what they were shut down from the media till Thursday or something,
Yeah,
or
yep.
yeah.
They did a bunch of stuff on Thursday, then they were off Friday through
Wow,
today,
wow.
and then they come back tomorrow and start practicing.
Well, what do we have a number yet? Do we got a number? What point spread yet? Have we seen a point spread yet, or haven't they done that yet?
No, they've done that. The last I saw, the Vikings were slight favorites, but that could have changed by now.
Mm-hmm.
But
Couple of points, huh?
yeah, a couple of weeks. It's been out for a while, and
Mm.
the one I saw was the Vikings were slight favorites.
Well,
So
anyhow, let's get started here. This is ridiculous to have 17, 18 days before the season starts.
how about your buddy, Bill Belichick? First game, college coach, score, opening drive. Everybody says, "Oh my God, this is going to be
This is
uh,
wonderful.
so unfair." Bill Belichick and gets his ass handed to him by TCU.
Mia Hamm shows up. Michael Jordan shows up. Lawrence Taylor shows up. All the greatest athletes in North Carolina history. They make a big deal out of this. I would imagine the TV was trying to get those people all to show up. But let's come on to town, and then they move down the field. Everybody's jumping around, and what they had one drive in the first half, one drive in the second half, and beyond that, they made like 30 yards or something. It was
I
just,
went to bed. They had like an 80-yard touchdown drive on their first drive. I don't think into the third quarter he completed another pass. The
Mhm.
quarterback. He eventually got uh, lifted for Brad Johnson's son Max, who came back from that horrific injury he suffered here last year at Huntington Bank Stadium.
Oh, really?
You remember
Okay.
that he like broke his leg? It was real
Yeah,
gruesome.
that's right. Did he start against the Vikings up here? I
Or
mean,
against the
against the
Gophers?
Gophers
Yeah,
last
I
year?
think he started that game for Mac
That
Brown.
was probably the Gophers' worst game. They lost to that team, and it was
Yeah.
was ugly, ugly offensive game. But yeah, Max is. And speaking of famous last name quarterbacks, Arch didn't look too good either with Texas. What
No.
a flop all that game was. Ohio State and Texas, man, and we got to play it at noon because it's going to kick off the whole weekend, and it's a 14-7 clunker. So I don't know. It was the 90%. When you look at the college football scores, you
Mm-hmm.
get like 8 games that first weekend that you might be interested in: Notre
Yep.
Dame, Miami, and the rest of them are just an absolute joke.
Yep.
And you're bribing some team to come up and get their arse kicked. And now the Gophers have got one of those coming up this week, Northwestern State, which had lost. It lost. They had a murder of one of their players more recently than they had a win before
Yeah.
last week. So
And they
they
canceled
lost
that
20 in
season
a
and
row.
forfeited the rest of the games, right?
Yeah, they decided to forfeit them all. Yeah, that the rest of that season, and it's just, I don't know. I suppose what they have to pay Buffalo 1.2. Did I see or one? Then I saw 1.4 or something like 1.2, 1.4. I suppose you got to say, okay, we got to get somebody to come up here cheap. These guys will probably come up for 400,000 or something like that. But it's a joke, and then after it's over, PJ will still crawl over his players, man, in celebration because it's Northwestern State week, baby.
He surfs the players. He comes
Yeah,
in there and he jumps on them and he surfs them and they throw him
I,
around like a rag. He literally looks like a rag doll.
I like to say he crawls over them because the Viking, they Gopher fans don't like that when you say that he crawls over the top of them. But anyway, that I didn't see any of that Gopher game. I was at St. Thomas, but I was in the car listening to the Grimmer. The last 9.5 minutes, they just handed the ball to Darius and the other guys and killed the killed the clock. Basically, that was a
Yeah.
impressive drive to kill the clock.
If Here's what I don't get, Pat. If the Gophers are going to open on a Thursday night, which they always do, why doesn't St. Thomas wait till Saturday? What's the
I have no idea unless it had something to do with Lindenwood or something. You know what?
okay?
But I'll tell you what, they they both picked a good night to open. It was gorgeous, man.
Hmm.
It was fantastic, and I don't think there's a lot of overrun of the two crowds there. But
I'm just surprised it's the same night.
yeah, St. Thomas had a nice crowd too because they had the freshmen all show. They, by the way,
Yeah.
while everybody else is, most of these private colleges are really struggling. This, I think, the D1 and the thing has helped them a little. They have the 1,600 freshmen, which is one of their biggest freshman class ever. So
Hmm.
they're hanging in there, and then they had a good week because they on Wednesday they showed off the new stadium. I mean the new arena, and then on Thursday they beat a team 35-13 that had beat them 64-0. So that's a nice turnaround. Now, however, this Saturday they're at Idaho, which last year played Oregon within 10 points at the start of the season. So
Oh wow.
that might be a little too much to bite off. But their schedule, I saw some of the comments. Why don't they play North Dakota State if they're so good? Well, they do. The end of the season, their last game. If they end up winning the Pioneer League and get that bid, they're going to have to play North Dakota State before the playoffs start.
Ooh. Yeah.
That could be bad. But anyway, it was a great night there. What a fabulous night to be out watching a football game last Thursday. No matter where you were, and a lot of high school games too. So
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and the strip. I think the strip covered every single high school game.
I think we
They've
did.
gone crazy on high
We are
schools.
all in on varsity. I'm I missed the agate with the scores in it in the paper, but we couldn't get them anyway with our modern deadlines. So it's not the Friday. The Friday deadlines are even worse than the rest of the week. So, uh,
Well, our
but
former back in my day, our former prep guru Roman would have loved to have a staff this big.
yes,
You could send
varsity.
guys to
Yes.
every game
Yes.
or
Now
gals.
I still gotta admit I haven't found my way around varsity to get all the scores and stuff like that. I'm a novice varsity guy because I don't. All I want to do is look at the
You
scores
know what
and
I do? I Google high school football scores, and inevitably something comes up that just
something
gives me the
pops up that
scores.
gives the scores. That's basically what I want is the scores. But my guy that I went up and saw last week, Darren Lamker,
Yeah.
after Osseo, he opened with a 36-0 win over Coon Rapids with his return to Osseo. Now, it's going to get a little tougher after that. You got the Maple Groves and everybody else, and they do play 6A, and he doesn't have a lot of players. But I was glad to see him open with a win.
Yeah. So I didn't go out to the Padres Twins, but I went out yesterday just to see what the White Sox and Twins was like. And I got to tell you, first of all, the crowd was for a holiday weekday or for it was terrible. But second of all, Pat, there is nothing more painful, I don't think, than watching the White Sox and Twins right now. It
No.
was awful.
Yeah, we the Twins had to work hard too. I did not see any of it. I was in the
Didn't
car
miss
for a
anything.
while and listened at it. But it was, you know what? The other thing is about our boys, they've been playing long games too. We're back to almost 3 hours. How are we managing to, with the pitch clock and everything, still take 3 hours?
Because it's so bad, Pat.
Yeah,
It's as close to a little league, big league game as you can get because of the
close to it.
mistakes, the pitching changes, all of that. I think Sunday was 301 and yesterday was 245ish and felt like 320.
Now they actually played pretty good a couple of games against the Padres to beat them, and the
Yeah.
Padres are kind of going around. They're pretty mediocre right now, but yesterday lived up to the billing. I'd say the White Sox and the Twins. Wow, it was who are these? The White Sox got people playing I never heard of. I mean, they've redone it completely. I'll tell you one thing though.
Yep.
I did I did see a little of the game early and went over to the White Sox telecast. If that now we can criticize our local guys, but if you had this guy
Oh God,
doing
he's
the game, you would
yeah.
never watch a minute of a Twins game again in your life, would you? If this guy was broadcasting, it is unbelievable how rotten he is and how goofy he is. And Stoney just sits there and takes it.
He
Stoney,
signed an extension. I was
yeah,
shocked last year. He's like, I'm
yes.
coming back. I'm like, Stoney, what are you doing?
What's the guy's name? Schifrin or something?
Yeah, John Schifrin.
Shut up, please.
How he didn't
Shut
get
up.
fired, I have no idea. The Blackhawks, he wasn't as bad, but the Blackhawks hired a young guy who they thought would bring excitement. And I think after like a year or two, they're like, no, this doesn't work. They pulled the plug. How John Schifrin has survived this thing is beyond me.
That reminds us old Twins guys of 50 years ago when they hired Larry Kelton because they were going to have a young, entertaining, energetic guy that was going to bring the the fact that team stunk.
Right.
They 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 decided that the people weren't watching anymore because the announcers weren't exciting enough, so they brought in Larry. And the crowning achievement of Larry's career here was he got punched on the bus by Danny Walton for insulting Danny's family or something like that. So that was Larry. Larry was, but I listened to Larry before I listened to this guy with the White Sox. Unbelievable.
Yeah, well, at least in Provis's case, he's trying to sell tickets because that's what but he's not completely over the top with,
No.
with his defense. If they do something dumb or wrong, he'll
Yes.
talk about it.
Judd, we got to, but we never will find out why they traded all five of their relievers, will we? I mean, what? Yesterday,
I
you
know.
know,
Yeah.
yesterday you got a lead in the eighth inning, and you got to bring in Topa. Topa was option six
Yeah.
6 weeks ago, a month ago.
He was a white flag guy, Pat.
He was option six, and now uh, why did you trade them all?
Well, and why Varland? Like, is
Yes,
this kid? Unless this kid is Koufax from Toronto,
yes.
I don't understand why you traded him. Everybody else, I mean, Jax, I got for sure. Duran, if you got a good return, which we can debate now, but perhaps they did. But the
I got
Varland one, why didn't you just stop?
to me, Duran is one of your most popular players.
Yeah,
It's you don't have to break the bank to sign him yet. What's the hurry? I don't get it.
but
I
why
don't.
Louis? He wasn't making anything. He wasn't
No,
going to make anything.
yeah, that's true. He's still in. It's yeah. I mean, it's just the fact that nobody's showing up. The Yankees are going to be here
I know.
in 2 weeks. The Yankees are going to look around and say, "What is this? Are we playing an exhibition game in in Washington Nationals Park or something
There will
like?"
be more Yankee fans here, which won't be surprising. But
But there won't be that many either. They're not going to
they're the
cheer.
only hope, Pat.
Yeah, I know, but it's by the way, schedule's the same next year. I looked at it.
Uh
The
huh.
schedule is virtually the same. A lot of April games, and the Yankees are here in the middle of September. So one thing, baseball, with their great concern about mid markets, uh, take a team like this and give them a front loaded schedule at an outdoor park in a cold weather state. It
I
makes
know.
no sense,
I know.
but it just shows you as much as Manfred and the boys give you lip service on it. They don't give a damn about the small market teams. They don't care. They just want the Yankees and the Red Sox and the Cubs and the Cubs and now the Brewers or somebody playing on Monday night. They their featured games never change. The Twins were on what? Twins were on Monday night for the first time since 2020 or something.
Sunday night against the Tigers
Sunday night,
was the
yeah,
Scooble game. Yeah,
against the Tigers. By the way, Scooble, another scoreless innings. It's unbelievable.
yeah, he's ridiculous. So yeah, the Twins had for a holiday afternoon game 15,892 that they
Mhm.
announced.
Yes, that
So
wasn't. Yeah, it sounded a little. You know what though? It's funny because they used to. The holidays were the big thing in sports. Three teams. I think there were 6 teams that didn't play yesterday. Labor Day is
yeah,
not. Labor Day, especially in this state. Labor Day is let's get out of Dodge here. I mean, it was you know, holiday weekends are great for traffic, man. Summer weekends. Monday's the only day you can get around in the Twin Cities on the freeways because everybody's still coming home from the lake. It's great.
here's my
You never
yeah.
had a lake spot, huh? You never had a lake spot
Oh
to
no,
hang
Pat, I
out.
don't know. I don't like water that much. I have no interest. Why would you want a second home?
Yeah, well,
One
not
home's
the second
expensive and
home, but
hard
I mean
enough.
somewhere to hang out, to some friend to go to hang out
Oh,
with at some lake.
we did Brainerd a couple of times in the 90s.
Okay.
Like rent a cabin for the week.
Mhm.
That was fun. It was great.
We did
That's
it
it.
about we did it about 4 years ago, and it's expensive.
Yep.
And really, you know, really the only thing you do is before you sit down to watch TV in the evening, you look at the water for like a half hour. That's the only difference, and maybe walk around a
Well,
little
and
bit.
you don't drink. So that's
No,
a
no, no,
like that's the main reason I think to
yeah,
go up there, right? Like
yes,
especially
right,
when you're young, you go drink,
yeah.
you go to the bars, you go outside. It's
Yes,
great, but
yeah,
yeah.
that's true. And see other young drunks, it's kind of fun. But
Yeah, the sobriety thing makes
when
it
you're up there and you're 75 years old and you're walking down, okay, now we walk down the beach and you know, you know what? When you're when we're up there, you don't like young families. Man, they make too much noise.
yep.
Once the hell with. I got the I got the two young kids next door. I like them. They come and jump in the pool. I go out and say hello, but I don't like a big mob of, you know, 8 different families with kids screaming. You just can't get me up there to the North Woods anymore. Sorry.
All
Uh,
right, hey, before we go, tell me if you were going to go
if when I
though,
go up
how
there,
would you get there?
I would get there in a Jim Paul or Brett Paul Buick SUV. I think the Invista would be my choice if I was gonna dump the convertible, which I'm not going to, the Cascade, which I bought from Jim Paul when it was new in 2019. Still running fine, by the way, with 70,000 miles on it. But right now the SUVs out there, they got tremendous stock. The Buick SUVs. If you've been watching sports, you've seen them, seen the ads for them. These things are gorgeous. And 2024s, 2025s, low interest rates, high factory rebates, tremendous inventory. Jim Paul and Brett Paul Valley Group of GM dealers, straight out Cedar by 140th. Take a right. The lot is full of great choices right now, great prices. Price to move, as they say, and with a financial department out there that'll make it happen for you. Jim Paul and Brett Paul Valley Group of GM dealers. Check them out.
All right, we'll talk to you on Wednesday, sir.
All right, sir. See
Thanks,
ya.
Patrick.
Bye.